sentence you to 18 months imprisonment.
You lying little whore.
There was life before Corrie, but as they say, it wasn't up to much.
You were all thinking it. I just said it out loud.
At 7 p.m. on the 9th of December 1960, the first episode of Coronation Street hit our screens. There was no going back.
I mean, it had literally gone. Vroom. What happened was just a bit of Corrie magic.
After 7,500 episodes, the appetite for all things Corrie is bigger than ever.
It's a wonderful show, and it'll go on forever.
Today, The Street is watched in around 40 countries worldwide.
It's a great privilege. I love working on Coronation Street.
I enjoy my work 100%.
And yet it still feels like our nation's street.
In every little house, there's sadness, there's laughter, ups and downs.
They say television's killed live entertainment.
Over the years, we've seen over 10,000 characters and just as many twists and turns.
1 minute you're chucking stuff out of a window.
Hitting people with shovels and crowbars.
But which is Coronation Street's greatest ever story?
I could see this little character in my mind when I read the script.
We asked you, the viewers, to pick your favourite, and over 2 shows, we'll reveal just how you voted.
The street's a pretty dangerous place to be. I mean, who'd live on Coronation Street? Who'd marry Gail?
And we'll hear the secrets behind each of these memorable moments from the people who brought them to our screens.
Sometimes I'll do a scene and I'll forget my line because I'm actually watching telly.
We knew we were being part of something that was going to be really explosive.
So, raise a glass to a national treasure.
Coronation Street!
And let our Coronation Street countdown begin. And it's only fitting that our lineup starts with the street's longest-serving character and resident womaniser, Ken Barlow, who decided to spice up 1989 with an office affair.
Happy birthday.
The street is at its best when it's exploring situations that lots and lots of people have been through.
So, how was school today?
All right, nothing special. Same old stuff.
I know the feeling.
Deirdre had her fun with Mike Baldwin, so we thought it was appropriate that we did the same for Ken, really.
Ken had been totally at fault with Wendy Crozier. They were happy, he and Deirdre. There was no reason to go off, and it didn't start out as an affair. It started out she was helping him with the council, but it went into an affair.
You have to go.
You know I must.
Oh, I hate it when you leave.
Funny enough, during that, I dropped my little daughter off at school, and one of the mothers came up to her and said, "Come away from that man." Really furious and wouldn't talk to me. You know, I thought, oh, crikey, you know. And she spoke to me about a year later. She said, you know, when you were doing that, having that affair, my husband was doing exactly the same thing, and I couldn't bear to see you actually playing that. But she said, I have to tell you, it helped me, because it made me realise I'm not alone.
I want to know where you've been and who with.
Oh.
Is it serious?
When you've been in a show a long time, stories like that come along as a bit of a shock, and they unsettle you.
Wendy Crozier. Am I right?
Yes.
But I think that's when actors give some of their best performances.
I don't care where you sleep, but it's not in my bed.
In 1969, Coronation Street heralded a bright new era in television. Intended as the first colour episode, the cast headed out on location to the beautiful Lake District, where disaster lurked on and off the screen.
November 69, Coronation Street goes to colour. The decision is made to put all the characters onto a coach, send them off into Windermere.
Well, we had a hell of a journey. Towards the Lake District, we came across a road that was all ups and downs like this. Everybody was car sick. I wasn't, and one of the boys was nearly passing out. We had to keep stopping for him to go on the side of the road.
Unfortunately, now either the film stock didn't arrive or the cameras weren't ready for it, whoever you listened to. But the first colour episode was not all our characters in the Lake District.
Bells are ringing.
No. It was the episode afterwards when they'd all had a horrible coach crash.
I know I got a bump on the head, which I suppose I played it up a bit, that I got concussion and all that rubbish, but a lot of people did get injured.
Oh, she's not very well. She's just lying there.
So the first colour image on Coronation Street is our characters all bloody and messy, waiting in casualty.
Black and white was not very good for mousy ladies.
You're hurt.
So are you, love?
But the day colour came in, we came into our own, and it was all right after that. I was very relieved.
Back in black and white, Martha Longhurst was 1/3 of the famous soap trinity of Minnie, Martha and Ina, putting the world to rights in the snug of the Rovers. But all that was to come to an end one day in 1964.
We were told that we were getting a new producer.
Dennis, the old song, there's one person we want, that's someone from show business. Yeah? What can I do to help? Move the piano.
And he told us about what his ideas for the show were. Lynn Carroll, who played Martha, he simply said, "We will not be taking up the options on your contract." We were absolutely devastated.
Viewers were also devastated as they watched Martha suffer a fatal heart attack. They were so moved that floral tributes soon started to arrive at Granada Studios in Manchester.
Len Fairclough had the last line in that scene, and if you watch, he hesitates because he didn't want to say it. He couldn't believe it was true.
He's dead. We all had to leave the Rovers Return individually, walking out into the street, and they played the credits without a theme tune. It was incredibly poignant, and the end of a great era for us.
1987 saw a match made in heaven. Bet Lynch was reunited with her beloved Rovers. Oh, and she got married too.
Dead right, love.
The wedding day is forever etched on my memory, I have to say.
The entire costume department had all sort of got together to make the frock. It had to be the meringue, of course. You know, we'd looked at very, very elegant designs which would have been completely wrong for Bet. What do you think? But it was fabulous. It was right. I didn't care.
It's terrific. Some viewers didn't think it was terrific, turning up at the church pleading with Bet to stay single.
There were hundreds of tents outside with people in who'd slept there the night before.
The crowd were all there chanting and shouting, "Don't do it, Bet.
Don't do it.
Don't do it." You're late.
It's bride's privilege.
Alec was about to put the ring on Bet's finger.
I messed it up and put the ring on the wrong finger.
I said, "It's the wrong bloody finger." And I apologised and said I was very sorry for swearing in church. I felt dreadful about that.
I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife.
Well, go on. Kiss me.
At 46, it's panic stations for Deirdre as the lorry careers into the Rovers and baby Tracy Langton.
Deirdre has left Tracy in a pushchair outside the pub. She goes in to see Mrs. Walker. There's this huge crash.
What on earth?
They filmed the outside scenes before they filmed the inside scenes. So Anne Kirkbride had a full day of screaming, "Tracy! Tracy! Tracy!" So much so that she loses her voice.
I don't appear to have lost the nag.
Well, you never do you?
And then you see the crash, and she's screaming, and it's great.
More from the Barlow family at 45, as Ken's first wife, Valerie, has a freak accident with a hairdryer. What a way for a hairdresser to go.
Hello. Oh, hi. Yeah, I know, love, but you've no idea. When I got the dress out, the hem had come unpicked.
Come as you are. Wet hair, no dress, it's all the rage. Don't be so bashful.
Look, give me about half an hour.
They're very fond of Anne, still am. But she wanted to leave, it was her choice, and the court, because it's a good marriage, the only way really was to kill her off. And they did it well and truly. They electrocuted her and then burnt the place down, so she wasn't going to get away with that.
I remember after I'd done all the plug thing, I had to lie down on the floor.
Everybody was going, it's 10 to 6, can you please hurry up? And there was a fireman there called Spud, and they said to him, oh, set fire to it, set fire to it. And I was lying there thinking, they said, keep your eyes shut, keep your eyes shut. And I thought, they don't need me anymore, they don't care if I burn. And suddenly all these flames were going round me. I think I opened my eyes and sort of ruined it, so you don't get that dramatic effect of me lying amongst the flames.
Coming up, a shocking exit for Brian Tilsley.
Loads of women come up to me saying, oh, I cried, when Brian got killed on the show.
And we say farewell to the street's favourite barmaid.
Easy when you know how.
Welcome back to a countdown of your favourite Coronation Street moments from its 50-year reign on British television. And along with the rest of us, residents of Coronation Street untangled their bunting in 1977 to celebrate the Silver Jubilee, putting on a pageant with Doris Speed's Queen Annie Walker taking centre stage.
It is customary to kneel.
Some people get right into the part, don't they?
Well, she's been rehearsing all her life.
It was fantastic doing the Silver Jubilee. And what clever casting.
Well, you had Annie Walker as Queen Elizabeth I, absolutely proper.
She should be the Queen of England, she's so grand.
Me as Britannia.
Right, come on, Britannia, big smile.
Unbelievable.
Terrific, Mrs. Sharp.
You had Ina as Queen Victoria.
Lovely, Mrs. Sharp. Was that...
I was Edmund Hillary.
You never stopped laughing.
Well, Kenneth, here I am.
Oh, fine.
Doris had a lovely sense of humour.
The battery's flat.
Right, let me give you a hand down, Mrs. Walker.
Well, this sort of thing completely destroys the dignity of the occasion.
5 years later, and dignified as ever, Queen Elizabeth I had an audience with Queen Elizabeth II.
When I look back, what tickles me is when the Queen actually came to visit. Doris was next to me, we were outside the Rovers and everybody else, and the Queen walked along. Doris was very naughty sometimes, and as she came towards us, Doris said very loudly, "Isn't her makeup dreadful, dear?" And it threw me. It just threw me totally. I curtsied to Doris, I think I might have saluted to the Queen. "Isn't her makeup dreadful?"